When it came to moving out to the farm, my aunt wanted to have much more than the typical summer pool parties and family get-togethers. She wanted to do something with the land that was productive, something that would give back to the farm that had given her so much as a child. She didn't just want to make sure that the land was in better condition. She wanted to make a difference. She wanted to fix the things that needed fixing, and soon that desire expanded to a much higher level, a global level. My aunt wanted to help save and preserve the earth. She thought globally, but acted locally. And at that point, she began to do everything that she possibly could to do her part. She went solar, the first person in the county to do so. She stopped using AC, grew crops, had solar heated water, built weird things like yurts for meditation. And eventually, she got these, beehives, which was her way of further improving the farm, the environment, and also making some pretty damn good food too. Next, I wanted to see what my aunt had to say about the bees.
Bees are what makes everything grow, and everything in life depends upon bees. And you know, the more beekeepers we have, the more better things are going to grow, and it's just better for the environment.
What I also wanted to learn was what it took to become a beekeeper, and what my aunt actually had to do throughout the year. What do you have to do throughout the year to maintain a hive?
If it's an established hive, there's not a whole lot that you have to do throughout the year, really. You do have to check on them occasionally and make sure that there's enough honey stores in the hive, and if there's not, then you'll have to feed them. Generally, the hives will start really producing honey well in April or May. What they call the honey flow comes on, which really isn't a honey flow, it's just the nectars in the trees. All the flowers are in bloom, and the bees are working it, and they're making their honey. And once there are flowers out for them to make the honey with, you don't need to worry about feeding them anything, because they'll get their own food. They'll sustain themselves fine. And then again in the fall, sometimes if there's not a lot of bloom, like in the goldenrod and the late blooming flowers, then you might have to supplement their feed a little bit with sugar water.
I also wanted to learn what beekeepers had to do to protect their bees in the wintertime.
This is the entrance reducer right here, and this is put on in the wintertime so that small animals like mice won't go in the hive and try to make nests and things, so that only the bees can get in and out. And the bees were out yesterday because it was up in the 50s, so they'll come in and out of this hole. They just can't come in very fast or very many at a time.
I also wanted to learn how honey was extracted after this little guide made it. What's the honey extraction process like?
It's not that difficult, really, and usually my father and I do it together. First of all, you don't want to take too much honey out of the hive. The bees need to have the bottom two boxes for their honey, for their stores, and for where they raise the baby bees. So it's only the extra boxes of honey that you'll take off the hives. And you take the frames out of the box and you put them in what's called an extractor. It's a centrifuge extractor, and it spins them really fast and throws the honey out into this tub that it sits in. And then you drain the honey out of the tub, and you can filter it. You don't have to filter it. Normally I don't filter mine very much. It's what they call raw honey, and the reason is that it tastes a lot better. It has a lot better flavor if you don't filter it. Plus it has more nutrients in it, and a lot of people will tell you that honey is good for allergies and things like that, and if you filter out all of those nutrients, then it kind of loses the effectiveness.
Right. Have you met many people through beekeeping?
Yes, I've met quite a few people, and I'm a member of the Frankfort Beekeepers Association, and it's a really good group. They're interested in promoting honey sales in Frankfort, which I'm not selling my honey, but I have met a lot of people that have been in beekeeping for several years, and they've helped mentor me with my hives as far as coming out and showing me things that I didn't understand or how to recognize things. So it's nice to be in that network of people to be able to utilize if you have questions or concerns. You just mentioned you don't sell your honey. Why do you do that? No, I don't sell the honey because I feel like the bees made the honey. I didn't make it. And I just prefer to give it away to my family and to friends, and I'm not interested in big time honey production. I just want a few hives and just enough to help the farm out a little bit,
Right.
and have some to give to family and friends. And I feel like if I ever sell that first jar of honey, then I'll have to sell to anybody that asks me. And
Right.
this way, I can be selective about just giving it away. And we haven't, at this point, we haven't gotten that much honey each year. So.
Gotcha. Speaking with my aunt really seemed to put things into perspective for me. Not only did this food help our farm, help the environment, but it also helped my aunt become acquainted with many new people, as well as bring our family closer together through the gift giving of honey. She helped us spread plant and wildlife and bring our family closer together. By thinking globally and acting locally, she was able to receive both global and local benefits. She was able to help just as she always desired to, and came one step closer to helping to save the world.